your girl, Nikky Niche, the host of NicNac ChitChat on Evolution Pop. Today, the topic is the viral era. We are talking going viral. Stay tuned.
Your topics all the time on evolutionpop.com, powered by the Be On Air Network.
It's your girl, Nikky Niche, with NicNac ChitChat on Evolution Pop, bringing you lunch hour tea time, serving up laughs, food for thought, and content you can relate to. Come hang with me every Friday, 12 to 1 for NicNac ChitChat, only on Evolution Pop. It's your girl, Nikky Niche, your favorite show host, and if I'm not, I will be. You are now tuned in to NicNac ChitChat, only on Evolution Pop. Now, I'm so thankful and grateful that you were tuned in to the third episode of NicNac ChitChat, but I also want you to tune in and keep up with me on all of my social media platforms. You can find me on Instagram at NicNacTalkShowHost. That's NicNac TalkShowHost. You can also find me on Facebook at Nikky Niche, spelled Nikky, and last name is spelled Niche, but it's pronounced like Niche because you have to put some finesse on it, okay? So today I'm going to start a tradition that I plan on continuing for the rest of my hosting career. So we'll see how that goes, and I hope that you enjoy it. Leave feedback, leave comments. So I'm going to be reading out of this book called Jesus Calling, and it's written by Sarah Young. So Sarah Young, if you ever are tuned in or you ever hear about my show, I love your content, and so do my followers when they click on my Instagram stories and they get that daily passage of motivation. Because let's be honest, we live in what a time to be alive, you know? And you've got to check on your strong friends. So you just never know how these simple words will leave such a great impact on the ones that you love. So today's reading says, "Let thankfulness temper all your thoughts. A thankful mindset keeps you in touch with me. I hate it when my children grumble, casually despising my sovereignty. Thankfulness is a safeguard against this deadly sin. Furthermore, a grateful attitude becomes a grid through which you perceive life. Gratitude enables you to see the light of my presence shining on all of your circumstances. Cultivate a thankful heart, for this glorifies me and fills you with joy." Amen. Okay, that just hit differently. Okay, Sarah Young, I need an endorsement deal, okay? Now that I've dropped that gem on you, I hope that you continue out your weekend feeling thankful and focusing on the positive, because if you look for the positive, you'll find it. And when you search for the negative, you know how that goes. Now, back to NicNac ChitChat. Today's topic is the viral era. And you're probably wondering, Nikky, what do you mean by that? So I just want to give a shout out to all of my fellow content creators, because you all are going to feel this segment. Now, I was yesterday years old when I found out that the term viral originates from the term virus. Go figure, right? Like the math is mathing for sure. But I also didn't know that going viral has been a thing for more years than we even realized. So shout out to my professor, Ben Anderson. He definitely put me on game with that one. I had no idea. I thought that this was just a, last decade, 2-decade kind of thing. Definitely been happening for longer than that. So basically, the definition of virus broken down into relevant terms of how we're discussing it now, it's basically an agent that replicates itself. So when a post or content is shared over and over in different states, in different countries, different regions, between different people, that's considered going viral. Now, today, going viral is super sought after. Everybody wants to go viral, right? I'm going to drop a gem on you, and I'm going to be dropping tons of gems on you for the rest of the show, so make sure that you stay tuned. So YouTube personality Kevin Nolte says, as of 2011, if your post gets more than 5 million views in a 3 to 7 day period, it's considered viral. Now, I didn't know that. I thought that you only had to get like 100,000 views or something around that ballpark, and I had no idea that in order for your post to be viral, it had to happen within a certain time frame. So you learn something new every day, okay? You're never too old to learn, okay? Do you hear me? And then being viral or going viral has become so popular and so sought after that now there's even algorithm tactics. So now we have reels. And if you don't know, here's another gem. Okay, stay tuned. Here's another gem. So when you post a reel, it helps you to market yourself and reach people who are not currently following you. So no matter how great your content is, if these people are not already following you, the chances are they're not going to see how dope you are or how dope your craft is or your art is that you're creating and posting to share with them. You also have social media insight tabs that show you your followers' highest activity time, their demographic, so like what gender they are and how old they are and the location where they're at and the popularity of your individual posts and the growth of your followers in a duration of time. I mean, it's wild. It is so detailed and so broken down. And for what? Because everyone wants to go viral. Everybody wants to be seen. Everybody wants to be in the camera. They want that 15 seconds of fame. They want that acknowledgement, right? So I have to say, honestly, that I would like to go viral. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to talk a lot about what goes viral and why it goes viral. But in the meantime, I would like to speak on, how hard it is as a small business to go viral, and it should be so easy as, a friend of yours or a family member of yours sharing your post. So then their following who doesn't know who you are will like the post, because there is just something about not knowing the individual who posted the content that makes you feel more secure about sharing it. And I just want to know why that is. Like, wherever you are listening to this episode of NicNac ChitChat with your girl, Nikky Niche, like, sit on that and mull that around in your mind. Like, try to figure out, like, why is it that you or your friends are more prone to share a stranger's post versus just sharing yours? It's something that boggles my mind every day. So Inc.com, spelled INC.com, lists 8 reasons why content successfully goes viral. And the reason why I was so excited to share this list from Inc.com is because Inc.com is the only major brand dedicated exclusively to owners and managers of growing private companies. So basically what they're saying is they support the underdog. And I'm here for that. I feel like I wonder on a daily basis, like, why would my family members rather buy this expensive $500 belt instead of just, buying some merch for me? Buy one of my shirts so that, people can walk up to you and be like, NicNac Show, like, what is NicNac Show? What is NicNac ChitChat? Like, what is that about? It'll, raise awareness and raise eyebrows. It'll make them question. It'll make them want to seek out the information, maybe even go home and Google. I mean, we walk around with our phones all day. So they could just take out their phone and be like, oh, okay, see what she's got going on. Let me go ahead and subscribe. Let me go ahead and see what this girl is yapping about, because that's what I be doing. I be yap. But I hope that it makes you think, and I hope that it makes you laugh, and I hope that it motivates you and it makes you feel good and it makes you feel better about yourself, Because I feel like if we're all happy, then there's no room for you to be upset at someone else's happiness. So again, Inc.com lists 8 reasons why content is successfully goes viral. So the first reason is status. So people want to feel exclusive. Something about feeling exclusive makes people feel important. It makes them feel bigger than what they are. And, there ain't wrong. They ain't wrong for that. Like, you want to feel important. You want to feel like you have a niche in the world. You want to feel like you have a purpose. You want to feel good about yourself. And everyone owes that to themselves, period. No comma at the end of the day, So that's why those Gucci purse posts, they go viral, because people want to be like, yeah, I'm sharing this Gucci purse because I be rocking Gucci. I'm fly when I walk in the door, all that. The second reason is identity. So a lot of times when people do make posts, it is a reflection of how they feel. So people like to be heard. I mean, look at me. Here I am. Here you are listening, and we're doing our tango right now. People like to be heard. They like to post. They like to voice their opinion. They like to know that they're being heard. So that's another reason why content goes viral, because you never know who is feeling that same way as you. Some people don't have that voice that you have. And sometimes you are the voice for someone else, because sometimes people don't have the courage. Sometimes people just don't have the words to put together. The third reason why content goes viral is because it's helpful. So basically, your product or your service will make someone's life easier, and it's demonstrated. So what's a good example of a service making your life easier? A barber. That's a good example. Or just doing hair in general, because Lord knows, okay, I can't do hair, okay? And that's why I love my extensions. I have no shame in my game. Any man in my inbox or on my timeline telling me, oh, I love women who wear their real hair, go sit in the corner, sir, because us women are not doing this for you, okay? You don't have to comb this 4C hair. I do, okay? So it'll make my life easier if you post someone who is amazing with their fingers at growing hair and making hair more manageable and all of those things that will just make my life easier, okay? Because I need to prep for my NicNac ChitChat episode, okay? I can't be fighting with my hair. So the fourth reason why content goes viral is fear, right? We all love a good scary movie, but it's also fun after you've watched that video and then you've gotten enticed into it and you're entranced into it, and then boom, something pops out and it scares the mess out of you, and you're like, okay, hold on. If this got me, then I need to see your reaction too, sis. Like, if I had to see it, then you had to see it too, And also, fear can be used in a manner of, just kind of helping other people to avoid danger. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, sis, I know you love traveling. I know that you be catching flights, not feelings. But when you book that trip and when you go on the beach, you might want to know that if the sand looks like this, it's quicksand. And I love you too much. I don't want to lose you. You know what I'm saying? So when you're posting those selfies in that body that you worked all summer for, I don't want you to sink. You know what I'm saying? Type of situation. So that's where fear comes from. And then the fifth reason why content goes viral, according to Inc.com, is order. So order in the sense of convincing others to act, or in order to prevent or to stop or begin. So we need to begin and make people act and acknowledge and realize that hashtag Black Lives Matter. Okay, do you hear me? Oh, okay. So that is an example of producing order in your content, or maybe, like stop Asian hate, or, just preventing someone from, traveling in a certain manner that will stop them from being trafficked or kidnapped, or just some type of order or direction that will be helpful to people, or just kind of make people think. The sixth reason why content goes viral is the relatability. And it's so funny, this one to me, because I was reading the entire paragraph and I've kind of paraphrased it and broke it down so that it is easier for us to understand and digest within this hour time frame of NicNac ChitChat. But, they said that, viewers typically like relatable content, but they don't like something, and they do like relatable content, but they like new content as well, right? But it can't be too new. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, I love catfish, and I may try that new hot sauce that you're talking about in your post, right? I'll put that new hot sauce on my catfish. But if you put flounder on my plate, then I don't know what to do with that, baby, because I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? And the truth of the matter is, people tend to reject what they don't understand, So the seventh reason is validation. Everyone loves to feel reassured. They love to feel like they're not alone in their feelings. They like to feel like they're not wrong for the way that they feel, And last but not least, voyeurism. All right. So if you don't have a definition on hand, don't fret. I got your back. Okay. Voyeurism is gaining sexual pleasure from viewing. Bougie sigh, because this one, it hits a sore spot within me because I feel like society promotes women and people in general being over sexualized and being sexual, but then they judge you for it too. You know, stay tuned as we continue talking about NicNac ChitChat's viral era, only on Evolution Pop, and we are gonna keep rocking. It's your girl, Nikky Niche, your favorite show host, and if I'm not, I will be. You are now tuned in to NicNac ChitChat on Evolution Pop. So I just got done listing the 8 ways that content goes viral, and this list was supplied by Inc.com, that's INC.com. And the very last point about how sexual content goes viral, I would love to spend so much more time on that, but I'm going to give you a teaser and I'm going to ask you to come back because I'm going to have a full-blown episode to talk about that because, honey, I just cannot break that down within 5 minutes. Okay, we're going to have to make a whole spiel over that, and it is really something that I feel like needs to be addressed more and more in media and entertainment because yes, we want to laugh and yes, we want to have a good time, but we need to bring some awareness to some things that like really need attention. You know what I'm saying? So we are talking about going viral, and I just feel like so many people are wanting that 15 seconds of fame, you know? And it makes you wonder though, like, is it worth the hype? Is it worth the hype to have those 15 seconds of fame? Now, for someone who actually has a business, now, again, it's not my business because what you eat is not going to make me poop and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I feel like going viral probably isn't that important if you don't have a goal in mind. You know, I feel like when you don't stand for anything, it is so easy to fall for anything. You know what I'm saying? And I also feel like a lot of people now, more so today than in the past. I want you to think, like, do you think our great parents, grandparents, because they are royalty. Shout out to our ancestors for looking over us. But do you think that they were concerned about going viral as much as we are? Like, do you think that they gave a damn as much about being famous? Now, I want you to answer in your minds, and I'm curious to know how many of you out there know when the internet actually existed, like when it actually came into the world, you know? So let's cue some Jeopardy music. No? Okay, again, I got your back. So the internet was born in January 1st, 1983. Did you guys know that? Also, another random fact while we're on this, did you know that texting is 30 years old? So texting was born in 1992 when I was born, and I only remember that because it's as old as me. So the internet was born in 1983 and texting was born in 1992, right? It kind of puts things in perspective for sure because time just flies when you're having fun and when you're stuck on your phone like a zombie. Okay, we got to learn to put the phones down, you guys. Okay, so I wanna throw this out there too. So I'm not sure what music you listen to. I'm not sure, you know, like how you preoccupy your time with entertainment. But DeAndre Cortez Way, if you don't know who that is, he's professionally known as Soulja Boy. Okay, so Soulja Boy's real name is DeAndre Cortez Way. He is an American rapper and record producer. So in September 2007, his debut single, Crank That, peaked at #1 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. Now, if you don't remember that, he blew up from YouTube. So actually, I feel like Soulja Boy was the one who began the era of hope that you could go viral, that you could, you know, become famous, that you could become this huge internet viral sensation from the internet, you know, from YouTube. And we gotta pay our respects to Soulja Boy. I mean, he was the first rapper to do a lot of things. Okay, so if you don't follow him on Twitter, then you would not catch that reference, but definitely a comedian outside of a rapper for sure. Now, I want to also pick your brain and make you think, like, is being famous really a good or a bad thing? You know, is it both? Does one outweigh the other? Let's listen to some celebrities who have definitely hit their peak and have way more in store for them. So they haven't, hit the ceiling, but they definitely are worldwide, definitely famous, definitely huge, definitely are viral for all of their music and their movies. So this is Ariana Grande, Lady Gaga, and Leonardo Dicaprio, and they are speaking on their experience of being famous.
You know, I don't like to have security come with me everywhere. I don't like those things. It makes me feel inhuman. It makes me feel weird, and I don't like it. I know people just trying to take care of me, but I want to escape with my friends and run around and be free and like blah, blah, blah. But like you think about it differently when shit like that happens.
Why am I unhappy? Okay, Stephanie, Gaga, hybrid person. Why is it that you want to quit music?
Yeah, I hated it. There was just strictly because I was like young. I was 17 and like insecure and like couldn't deal with the energy like being thrown at me, and it was just like a visceral experience. And now I can like really appreciate and enjoy it.
It does feel strange on a daily basis, but at the end of the day, anyone that doesn't want to continue doing what they're doing and realizes that there's a bit of a sacrifice to being able to fulfill your dreams should go do something else.
And there you have it. So I love the point that Leonardo DiCaprio ended off on, saying that, it is uncomfortable on an every single day basis. But what you have to realize is if you want something bad enough and you really, truly love what you do to the core, you are going to find out along the way, whether it's the hard way or the easy way, that there are sacrifices that come with it. And all of the sacrifices that different individuals have to make are going to vary because everyone's not in the same lane. But what we do have in common is that there is that sacrifice that is going to have to take place. And Ariana Grande kind of hit on it too. Like, she has to sacrifice her quote unquote freedom. She can't just flounce around and go everywhere as she pleases. She has to go with security. And yes, it does make her feel weird, but that's kind of what you sign up for when you're a GOAT. Okay, I'm totally an Ariana Grande fan, so I'm going to stand her right now. Thank you. Next. So Lady Gaga spoke on how she, at a point in time wanted to quit music because she doesn't like to stand around and sign autographs and take pictures because it feels fake to her. Now, that is something that I can relate to, and I am nowhere near famous, but I am kind of striving towards that, and we're going to speak on that a little bit later. But, it does make me uncomfortable to act in or engage in or participate in things that I feel are fake. Like, one thing that I pride myself on is that I am super authentic, super real. And so for me to feel like I had to kind of be fake in order to maintain this life, I kind of feel where this is coming from. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to talk about some of the bright sides of being famous, right? So obviously there's more opportunities to gain revenue, right? I feel like there's an assumption, right? And you make a beep out of yourself when you assume, right? I don't know if I can say that on air or whatever, but you get where I'm going with this. You get the gist. And, I feel like there are plenty of examples online, and I'm not going to call them out because I don't really want to speak on people in a negative light. No shade, no umbrellas, only sunblock. Sunscreen is positive, and that's the note we're going to keep this on. But, money is not attached to fame. And so, again, I feel like it's really only relevant to want to go viral and want those 15 seconds of fame if you actually have an agenda, if you actually have a business, if you actually have something going for yourself or something that you're striving towards. But just to be in the spotlight for people to scrutinize you, I don't know, spare me. You know what I'm saying? I'm good on all that. I don't know about you, but for me, honey, So another bright side of being famous is you get to be recognized everywhere. And, there is that quote unquote cheers effect, where everybody knows your name. Okay, maybe you weren't up at 3 a.m. and you didn't catch Cheers or Gilligan's Island, so you don't know that reference. But basically, every time this individual walked in Cheers, they knew his name. And we know that that's a good feeling to go into the bar and they know what you want to drink and they know your face and they know you by name and they're super cool with you and you get those advantages. But recognition everywhere. Everybody ain't so nice, everyone is not so nice. So there may be some people that you don't necessarily want to recognize you, So also another bright side of being famous is gaining the support of people you don't know. Yes, honey, yes. And we spoke about this earlier. Okay. How people are more apt to share content that is of a stranger's instead of their own friend. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the people that you were in the sandbox with, growing up with, were staked out in the backyard, spying on your ex-boyfriend when he was cheating on you with, you know what I'm saying? And for some reason, it just works like that. But when you get that blue tick, when you have that check mark, when you're verified, when you're known, when you're quote unquote famous, then everyone wants to support you. They want to buy your merchandise. They want to come to your shows. They want to watch you open up for Future or Lil Baby or whatever music or show that you happen to go tune into, And another bright side that I could think of for being famous is special treatment, not having to stand in lines, not having to even pay for anything. And if you think about it, that's really kind of a weird concept, because why do I have to pay $20 to get into the club, but Meg Thee Stallion gets in for free? Like, she could pay her cover, my cover, everybody in line's cover. It kind of makes you think, it makes you wonder, like, why does it work like that? You know what I'm saying? It's your girl, Nikky Niche. This is Evolution Pop, only on Evolution NicNac ChitChat. Whoop, blooper. This is NicNac ChitChat on Evolution Pop, and we are talking about the ins and outs of going viral, of, being famous, wanting those 15 seconds of fame. And I've just listed a couple of pros of being famous, but with everything that has a positive side, it has a dark side as well, right? There's always going to be that equilibrium. There's always going to be that balance in life. You know what I'm saying? Where there's good, there's bad, So we're going to get into the list of the cons of being famous. It's NicNac ChitChat on Evolution Pop. It's your girl, Nikky Niche, with NicNac ChitChat on Evolution Pop, bringing you lunch hour tea time, serving up laughs, food for thought, and content you can relate to. Come hang with me every Friday, 12 to 1 for NicNac ChitChat, only on Evolution Pop. It's your girl, Nikky Niche, your favorite host, and if I'm not, I will be. You are now tuned in to NicNac ChitChat on Evolution Pop. And today we are talking about the viral era, how people want to go viral. They want that 15 seconds of fame. Everyone wants to be famous. They want to be recognized everywhere they go. But there is a bright side and a dark side to it all, So some dark sides of being famous is losing the freedom to do normal activities like your peers. I want you to think about your day on a daily basis and what you like to do and, like what you consider fun. If you like to go to the beach, you probably can't go to the beach all of the time, because there's going to be people running up to you wanting pictures. You're not going to be able to lay down and tan how you normally enjoy with your solitude and your peace of mind. You probably can't go to a regular movie theater. Shopping, I love shopping. Okay, now as of lately, I ain't really been able to be doing too much shopping, but it's okay. I'm practicing saving money. You know what I'm saying? There has to be a balance in life, but I love shopping. And so I would not really love the fact if I couldn't just walk into my normal stores and just go shopping and just take my time and look at every article of clothing and match them up and just, be the girly fashionista that I have self-proclaimed myself to be, And another dark side of being famous is potentially attracting stalkers. Now, this aligns with the first point of the dark side of being famous. Now, there is one thing to not have to not be able to do what you want to do that you're so used to doing on a normal day-to-day basis, but to have stalkers, like, could you imagine like waking up and seeing like your house, like people taking pictures of it? You know what I'm saying? You can't even walk outside in your yard naked. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have that many acres, and people like, trying to find out your address in the first place, or people riding past it, or, people paparazzi, because I feel like personally they're more like paparazzi. I would say they are like bougie stalkers. They are like, high level stalkers. That's what I would say. Yeah. They're premium stalkers. Okay. So they're kind of just as cringy, but they're doing their job. And, so for that, you can't really attack them. But the thought of having stalkers who just and I don't even mean physically. I mean people who literally just stalk your whole life, all of your posts, all of your videos, hanging on every single word, like just in tune with you more than you probably are on your online platform. So, there's definitely a dark side, which should, for anybody who is listening and they are wanting to be famous, these are things that you really need to consider. And if you about that life, then more power to you. But these are things that you should consider in order to have a healthy journey in being famous, And another dark side of being famous is being under constant judgment and critique of others. Wow. So I can't even begin to wrap my mind around how a famous person must feel, because they are constantly under pressure to live the way that outsiders feel. And that's the funny thing about opinions, because opinions have never paid my bills. Outsiders' judgments have never put food in my kid's mouth. But the fact of the matter is once your life is on full display for other people to see, the judgment's coming with it, and you have to know that. So you've definitely got to have thick skin. You've got to understand that your words can be misconstrued, because, a lot of people say, there's my side, their side, and then there's the truth. But the actuality is, in my mind, there's the three sides of it is what I said, how you took it, and what was really meant. You know what I'm saying? So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, because people are going to talk anyway. And that's why I believe in just being that real life, real time example of just living your truth, no matter who's watching. Just make sure, 10 toes down, stand behind what you do, stand behind what you say, and, just have that energy behind your actions when you're famous, because people are going to come after you, but it just speaks to the point that people will try to take you down because you are so high up, and this is even outside of being famous. If people are trying to pull you down, it's because they are down. So that should make you feel better about the situation, and you should let it not affect you so greatly, because look at the perspective. A cloud can't pull you down because it's already up there. You know what I'm saying? You see, you picking up where I'm putting down. Okay. Now, another point that is the dark side of being famous is your entire life is on display. Now, honestly, that point right there has just, it's been in common with everything else that was on the list. So there's no need to elaborate on that. You just literally have no privacy. You know what I'm saying? You might even have security in your home. You might even have a driver. Some celebs and some famous people, I'm sure, just want to drive their own car, but for safety's sake, it's just better to ride in the back where it's tinted and just not have that privacy and sacrifice that. Now, another thing that I feel like is super important and relevant to bring up is the fact that, I feel like society forgets that famous people are still human beings. They still bleed like us. They still remove human toxic waste in the bathroom the same way we do. They still have to recharge and get sleep. They still, have family problems. They literally are so relatable to us. The only difference may be the tax bracket, but I feel like there is just such this pressure to be perfect, and all of your mistakes and your losses and your L's and all of that are just put on display for the whole world. And I'm wondering how you feel about, the influence now. Famous people have influence on common folk, right? Quote unquote common folk, because we're all under God in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? I ain't kissing nobody's butt. I may, but I don't kiss any butt, okay? So I guess my question that I want you to think about is, do you feel like living famously should obligate you to live morally? Like, do you feel like because you accept that role, because, a lot of people want that title and they want those rights, but they don't want to accept the responsibility that comes with it, So if you know that the whole world is watching you, and there are children, and there are, even old folk, grown folks can still learn too, So if you know that you're going to be in the spotlight like that, is it your due diligence to live in the best way that you can? Because we're human and we're all flawed in different ways, but we're all flawed. So do you feel like famous people should really take a stab at living at as perfectly as they can, because they are literally influencing other people's lives? Or should they just go on about how they were going on about? Because some people honestly weren't asking to be famous. Some people were just so talented, just so great, just so amazing that they just fell into being famous, because you can't help but deny the power that they possess within their talent. You know what I'm saying? So also, when you're do you feel like, I feel like this. I guess what I'm trying to say is putting people on a pedestal is never a good thing. You know what I'm saying? In any situation, not in relationships, not in friendships, and not when you're living in the spotlight. I feel like in the past, when my ex-boyfriends have put me on a pedestal, it kind of made me uneasy. It kind of made me feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? And so I wonder if common folk, quote unquote, who fangirl these celebrities, and basically obsess over them, do we kind of drive them to the madness? Because when you feel like you have to live up to this certain standard, it can, pressure bust pipes, or it builds diamonds. So, and everybody's just not strong. Everyone's not tough. And that's why mental health is such a relevant and necessary conversation. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, on both sides, we could be accountable. People who are famous could, maybe understand that people from all walks of life and all age ranges are looking to them as the example. And also common folk, quote unquote, cannot put so much pressure on them, and just remember that they are humans too. Like, they don't become these superhuman people just because they get that blue tick at the end of their username. You know what I'm saying? They don't just zap into a different human being. They're still who they were yesterday, Now, speaking of taking L's and making mistakes in public and it being displayed online for the whole world to watch, should we not support artists who mess up? And I've got some examples for you today, okay? And we're hitting all angles, okay? So R. Kelly, the R&B singer, he was convicted of some charges, and they were pretty gruesome. And I definitely want to get into the details of that. So before I get into these examples of artists who have messed up and have been a part of scandals in the public eye. I want to remind you that my name is Nikky Niche, and you are tuned in to NicNac ChitChat on Evolution Pop. I can be found on Instagram at NicNacTalkShowHost. That's NicNac TalkShowHost. And you can also find me on Facebook at Nikky Niche. That's Nikky. Last name is spelled Niche, but it's pronounced Niche for a little finesse on it. Okay. And if you missed any of my episodes, you can find me on YouTube at Neighborhood Hope Dealer.
Hi, I'm Rob Rose, and I'm one of the instructors here at Illinois Media School. I've been teaching here at the school since 2010, as a matter of fact, between Lombard and Chicago campuses. This is definitely the place to come. It's going to prepare you for absolutely everything that you need to know about the broadcast industry. We're talking radio, television, web, podcasting, absolutely everything. Get in touch with the school and take advantage of it. Make it your career. Do it now. I'm Rob Rose, nights on 100.3 WSHE in Chicago, and I am IMS.
Go to Lux Barbershop for the best barbers and stylists in Plainfield, Illinois. I go there when I have an important event, date, or I just want to look good. The straight razor shave will have you looking fresh and smooth. Lux Barbershop is open 7 days a week. Go to Lux Barbershop for the finest barbers, stylists, braiders, and massage therapists in the southern suburbs. Check out all their daily deals on Facebook, Instagram, and luxbarbershop.com.
Enter the world of a spy by bringing your friends to Safe House in Chicago. Safe House is a spy-themed bar and restaurant that is a perfect combination of interactive entertainment and great food. Just enter through the red door and whisper the password to the agent and your mission begins. If you don't know the password, just complete a fun clearance test to prove you and your friends are not double agents. Safe House is not just about the adventure though, the food is great too. Be sure to try my favorite, the Mission Impossible Burger. It's a double bacon cheeseburger topped with onion rings and covered in a spicy ranch and jalapeno relish. Go to Safe House for the chance to follow the footsteps of your favorite spy. For more information, go to safehousechicago.com.
Did you hear that? That's the sound of setting a goal and achieving it. Taking it slow, grasping the club gently and focusing in on the ball. Lining up the stroke. And in it goes. Treat your kids to some family fun and excitement while teaching them the value of setting a goal and achieving it. Tetherwood Country Golf. It's more than just mini putt.
Daddy, when you look at me, I could see your wheels turning. About what am I going to be when I grow up? A major league first baseman? Maybe a point guard for a national champion.
The odds of a child becoming a professional athlete are 1 in 16,000. Far-fetched? Maybe. But did you know the odds of a child being diagnosed with autism are 1 in 166? That's right, 1 in 166. To learn the signs of autism, go to autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
It's your girl, Nikky Niche, with NicNac ChitChat on Evolution Pop, bringing you lunch hour tea time, serving up laughs, food for thought, and content you can relate to. Come hang with me every Friday, 12 to 1 for NicNac ChitChat, only on Evolution Pop. It's your girl, Nikky Niche, your favorite host, and if I'm not, I will be. You are now tuned in to NicNac ChitChat on Evolution Pop. If you've missed any of this segment or any of my past episodes, don't fret. Be assured that you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram and click that link in my bio, and then that'll take you to my YouTube, which is called Neighborhood Hope Dealer, and then you'll be able to catch all of my past episodes. But as for today, we are talking about the viral era. So we've been discussing the 15 seconds of fame and wanting to go viral and the ins and outs of it, the good and the bad, the top, the down, however you want to cut it, slice it, roll it, dice it, chop it, split it. Okay, we are getting into the knit and a grit. Okay, so now we are talking about, should we support artists who mess up, because these individuals are still human, at the end of the day, even if they are famous. So I have a couple of examples, and I want you to think about this in your mind as I am going through these different individuals and with their different problems and their different scandals. Let's spill this tea. So R. Kelly, the famous R&B singer, on July On July 19th, 2019, he was arrested on federal charges alleging sex crimes, human trafficking, child pornography, racketeering, and obstruction of justice. Kelly faced a total of 22 federal criminal charges as of January 29, 2021, and he was found guilty. Okay? Now, so it's one thing to be charged, okay? And it is another thing to be arrested. But to be actually convicted and found guilty kind of changes the ball game a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So just wondering, how many of you out there still support this individual after these charges that he was convicted of, and it just kind of makes it hard for you to separate the talent and the mess up, and I mean, is it really considered a mess up when it's repeated behavior over and over and over with different individuals and different places and different situations and different, you know what I'm saying? So is it wrong of a fan to still play R. Kelly's music at their family gathering, to play R. Kelly's music at their family wedding? Is it wrong for them to, wanna, you know what I'm saying? Bring their date home and put on some R. Kelly? Is that cringy? You know what I'm saying? Is that acceptable still? Or are we still rocking with R. Kelly? Things to think about, because these are still human people. And the funny thing about being famous is, all of their mess ups and their wins, their L's, their everything is put on display. But, they say when you point one finger, there's a lot of fingers pointing back at you. So if there were a lot of common folk who had cameras around their homes, what would we find out about them? So before we go, being super critical of R. Kelly, and I'm not saying that he wasn't wrong. I'm just saying it's better to move with humility and to, always empathize. You know what I'm saying? And we've also got Bill Cosby. He was the subject of publicized sexual assault allegations and was convicted of aggravated indecent assault in 2018 before the conviction was vacated by the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania on June 30th in 2021 due to violations of his constitutional rights. So are we still rocking with Bill Cosby? You know what I'm saying? I felt like it was necessary to use these very different examples of famous people because, Bill Cosby, I grew up with him. He was definitely a monumental TV sitcom, especially for Black households. You know what I'm saying? Black households needed and today still need, that example and to know that it is possible and that it is, even relatable and that it's real. It's a realistic thing to have a Black dad in the home. You know what I'm saying? And there should be way more of those. And I'm going to save that for a whole nother segment, baby, because okay, edges are starting to roll up. Wig's going to fall back. Okay, I'm a little triggered right now, but we're going to not digress and stay on the topic right here and now. So I mean, are we still rocking with Bill Cosby? But and then it's just one of those things, where okay, a woman accused him, and then his conviction was vacated, but there were so many women, 300 people are not lying. 22 women are not lying. You know what I'm saying? One of those people are on to something. You get what I'm saying here? So, and then we've got Desean Watson, okay? And we were just talking the numbers game. So I'm not very well versed in sports, and I ain't even gonna stunt, all right? I'm no cap here. I have no hat, just the wig. You know what I'm saying? No cap, no gown. I got a dress on. Desean Watson has been in the media lately because he has been, having some questionable behavior with women who are, helping him with his sports therapy. So I don't even want to put my finger in that one. See what I did there? But what I want to know is to my understanding, Desean Watson is a very talented sports football player. You know what I'm saying? And, but again, like, this is not him going to a club, and getting drunk with these women and then having the argument where, we were both wasted. You know what I'm saying? Like, she wanted it, and then it's her against him. But these are sober situations in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? Or the rehab room, or whatever they call the sports room. Okay. Again, I'm not really well versed in pro sports, but it just makes it hard to separate, And then even with Kim K, you know what I'm saying? Her sex tape with Ray J was leaked in 2001. In 2002, 20 years later, okay? If you go Google it, her tape is still being brought up. It is still being talked about. So again, for you all out there who want to be famous, understand that everything that you do is under scrutiny, and everyone's going to dig up everything. Like, everything you've ever posted or made a status or recorded is going to be dug up, and people are going to psychoanalyze all of that. You know what I'm saying? And so I just, but in her case, you know what I'm saying? Like, and again, we were talking about the list of the ways that content goes viral by Inc.com. That's INC.com. And the last point was voyeurism, which is gaining sexual pleasure from viewing content. And so, it's like it's a catch-22, because this is a scandal. Kim K's sex tape was leaked, but also, like, it was leaked because people are into that kind of thing, and people are going to continue to share it, and people are going to continue to watch it. So was she really wrong for it? You know what I'm saying? Whether she leaked it or not, like, you're still watching it on Friday night when your date sent you off and didn't come through like she promised to. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're still, like, watching it with your boys. You're still talking about it, making it relevant 20 years later. So But in the same breath, sis did the best that she could, and she capitalized on it. If you were in that position, I want you to think to yourself. As a matter of fact, drop a comment below this video and let me know, would you have gone about it the same way? Would you have capitalized on the situation? And I know her dad was an amazing lawyer. He got O.J. Simpson off, so she was in the spotlight to begin with. But let's be honest here, okay? That sex tape definitely took sis over the cliff. Like, it definitely helped her career for sure, because we knew who Kim K was, but we wasn't checking for sis like that. You know what I'm saying? Until the sex tape leaked. So, I don't know. I'm going to have to go ahead and say that I would have. Like, I would have capitalized on it. I would have put my family on. I would have, started getting endorsements as well. I would have started, up a business as she did. And for the people who have hate for Kim K, I just don't respect it, because, you can't stop life from happening. And that's a given. Life's going to happen. Storms are going to come. It's going to rain. It's going to snow and sleet. But at the end of the day, life goes on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't stop life from happening, but you can control the way that you react to it. So in my opinion, and what do I know, but I just feel like Kim K went about it the right way. You know what I'm saying? I would like to say that I would have moved in the same manner. Now, I also want to put this on your brain as well. Do you think you can maintain a normal lifestyle and be famous too? You know what I'm saying? Because there are celebrities out there who are not in the media every single day. They're not tweeting like crazy every single 5 minutes like Kanye West is. You know what I'm saying? You don't know about their relationship. You didn't know that they were married for the last 3 years, because they're not in that spotlight. But you do see them pop up in the next movie, or in the next music video, or in the next short film, or in whatever content or whatever lane that they, have set forth into. But I'm wondering, do you feel like you can maintain a normal life and be famous? And honestly, I feel like, you can't really live a normal life. But again, what is normal? What is normal, right? Because normal is a dad and a mom in the house with the kids, right? But today's new normal is co-parenting, right? So what is really normal, right? I feel like life is all about perspective anyway, and I feel like it's more so about what you can handle and what you can deal with, what you can go to sleep at night knowing that you have going on. So it's not necessarily having to fit the societal norms, but you just have to be okay with it, because no one's going to be able to live your life but you, Now, having a healthy relationship when famous, that's the kicker. That's the kicker. Because all I see down my timeline is relationship goals and relationship goals that, and posting the entire timeline. But you know what? More power to those people who stand behind their relationship and want to post what they are proud of. Because when you take a look at someone's social media profile, you will find what they are proud of. It's your girl, Nikky Niche. This concludes my viral era topic for this segment. You can find me on Facebook at Nikky Niche, Instagram at NicNacTalkShowHost. I'm so glad that you tuned in. Thanks for viewing. See you next time.